Hey, you! Yeah, you! Don't skip this video. We gotta get to work on probably the most rustiest 1957 Chevy 210 wagon getting restored on YouTube. Yeah, you're right. She's probably not the most rustiest, but she's pretty dang close. Do you think it's fixable, or should we just give up already? Well, this is the issue. This is the back of the hinge support. It's supposed to have, well, several pieces of metal here. One that's, you know, missing right here, and then a whole nice big support that would connect to the freaking door hinge would come across to, you know, help support the door when you open it. But, as you can see, we're sort of missing it. So, I did find this piece online, and we could buy it for several $100s. But where's the fun in that? Well, I'm just gonna start by cleaning the metal up and finding out how far we have to cut this back to find good metal to weld to. Well, we got that all trimmed out. It looks way better already. Ain't got a big old freaking shark bite on it no more. This plate's pretty good. I tried to clean it the best I can. I'll wire wheel it a little bit more. And I got to get inside here just a little bit more and try to clean that up. Then I'm going to spray it with some rust converter because, well, we're going to do the best we can to prevent this from coming back. We got a little bit of rust jacketed in here. I'm going to scrape it out the best I can with a pick. And I'm just going to saturate it with that OSPO rust converter. Pretty much it's going to help stop the rust from spreading. And hopefully it just slows it down is what we're hoping. And then we'll get a piece of cardboard out and, well, we'll start making our new design. I didn't want to cut too far down because I don't want to get into these ridges. But luckily, it looks like we just stopped rusting at the tip. So that should be pretty easy. Well, while we're waiting for that OSPO to dry so we can put a coat of paint on it, I guess, we're going to pull the rest of this ductwork out here for the fresh air. This thing didn't even have no freaking screws in it. Like, I just picked it right up. Nothing was hooked up. If we knew that when the freaking fender was still on it, that would have saved us some headache. But either way, all this stuff's got to be wire wheeled, sanded down, and freaking painted before it gets put back on. Look at some sound deadener from the early 80s when somebody started fixing on this car. I think they just used it to block the fresh air because they didn't want that air coming in. Look at it, it's got a damper in it. Hello. All right, stop goofing off. Yeah, that would have made life a lot easier, huh? Oh, that's nasty. Wow, look how easy it comes off. So we gotta sand all this, everything. This thing's in a lot better shape than I thought it would be. For the ones that say that the dirt don't get on top of the vents and stuff in the 57, why was it all covered in dirt? Huh? You guys go back and watch the video from when we took the fenders off. There was a huge pile of nasty right here from when we were beating on it. But I don't know. It's my first tripod. check it out. We uncovered something from its previous life. So if you remember in the last episode, we discovered that this fender had red on it previously. And no other body panels on the car so far have had any red under the green. Well, I'm starting to wonder if maybe this car got in a little fender bender. And they didn't replace the inner fender, but they found a better, driver's side fender and they put on it, and that's why the fender was green. Because I just got looking at this and, well, this is all smashed in. It's not supposed to be like that. So we'll probably try to massage on that a little bit, just a little bit to make it a little straighter because, well, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it because obviously I didn't even know that it was all messed up until we took the fender off. So who else is gonna know? Like any good patch, we're gonna start with a piece of cardboard. The only difference today is I wanna try something a little bit different. Instead of putting my cardboard in and tracing it out, I'm gonna write a couple measurements down and then I'm gonna cut my piece of metal just a little bit bigger and we're gonna try to give it a little step. So it steps down and around. The spot don't really matter. You don't see it. You don't see it after the fender's on. You can't see it from the inside. So with that being said, we might as well play and have a little fun and experiment with something different. I've never done the step on it. So we just randomly cut this. We didn't measure this hole out. We just sort of cut where the rust was. So let's see how close we were. 4 inches. Get out of here. 4 inches all the way across. That's a good eye. I don't have a good eye. We got lucky. Look at that. All we did is threw a freaking line on it. We didn't measure it to see if it was going to fall like that. That's pretty sweet. So, well, that was an easy measurement. And we need it approximately 8 3/4. And we want approximately a 1-inch bend. We want a 90 with approximately 1 inch on the other side. So we'll go 1.5. We can always trim it down. All right, let's go get this traced over to a piece of metal. So it's a little bit different than usual because, well, we don't have a piece of cardboard to trace over, but we got numbers on a piece of cardboard to trace over, so that's pretty cool. We got 8 3/4 and 1.5. We need 10 1/4, I think. Am I right? I don't know. We'll find out after we cut it. Shouldn't you double check first? I should do a lot of things first, but that's not how we roll. So let's cut that. Goodbye. And then we need 4 inches the other way, but we're going to add on to that because we want to give it a little kick down. So 4 inches. Look, I finally bought a new tape measure. Well, I bought a 2-pack. These things aren't any cheaper now than they were freaking 10 years ago. I like Fat Max. I actually didn't really care, but I've had good luck with it. I've had my Fat Max forever is what I'm trying to say. What were we going to do? 4. We're going to do a half on each side, so 5 inches. Boop, boop. And then we got to cut this thing, huh? Yup. And we're going to use double cuts today because, well, I got a set right here. It just sounds easier than using a pair of snips. So these things are freaking awesome. If you don't have a pair, get a pair or don't. Perfect. Well, we're a little off. Don't worry about that. You don't have to worry about everything in life. And look, we got a nice little almost 1 inch strip for future projects. And then what we're going to do is, well, now we're going to mark our 4 inches. come up a 1/2 inch. What are you looking at? All right, I was just checking. It's 5. So we'll go a 1/2 inch. I'm gonna go a little bit over because I don't want the piece to just fight us the whole time. So, yep. Ooh, we don't want to do that one. That piece is where we missed the line when we were cutting. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Perfect. What we'll do is we'll run that through, we're going to run it through the bead roller, but we're going to run it through the bead roller with a stepper die so we can step it down. And, well, I'll show you, because before we get ahead of ourselves, we really need to put a little roll in it, because at the very top it starts to roll. Well, before we figure out where we got to put our roll, I'm just gonna fix up my line a little bit. Like I said, I sneezed. You guys all saw it. I sneezed and I got off track just a little bit. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Get them fish hooks. You want to pick them things up, because I'm telling you, them little freaking slivers I just cut off will go right through the bottom of your boot. These things are freaking sharp. That's why they call them a fish hook, and this is a big one. All right, let's see where we got to put our roll. Marker. Ooh, you guys are all crooked. What are you, drunk? So what we'll do down here is we'll probably notch it here and here, something like that. But we need to give it a little bend, because it's got a bend. That's why we got to give it a bend. Don't worry about it. You know, just trust me. And we want this side to roll, but we want it on the back side. So I'm just going to put a little mark back here so I know. A little arrow. Perfect. Where are we going next? Come on to the freaking roller. Why? Because, well, I got a roller, so I'm going to use it. If you don't have a roller, use a piper or something. Now, we just need a little bit of a roll. So that's that. And the reason I did that, sort of at that, because, well, we just need that corner to roll. We don't want the whole top piece to roll. We barely did anything. A little bit by a little bit. Look at that, we're getting a roll. What are you doing? Going freaking dark on me? Cameras. Ooh, here we go. That gave it a good one. There we go. We got a roll in it, probably 2. Well, let's go test it. Fun. See the top of it rolls? Oh, that's actually pretty freaking good. Oh, that's actually awesome. Stay. I'll show you. I'm freaking trying to toot. Look at that gap in there. What gap? That's what I'm trying to say. It looks freaking awesome. All right, so now we're gonna measure in what we want for our flange to kick back here. See, it turns right here. So we'll do a little, like a 45, I guess. And the reason I only primed this area is because, well, I'm not gonna be able to get between the two pieces of metal. I can get all this later after the piece is in. So I'll do that afterwards. But that's why that piece is all sprayed, and as much as I could spray back up in there, it'll be fine is what I'm trying to tell you. Don't worry about it. So what we got here is just a cheap bead roller, but instead of putting a bead on it, which these two dies would do a nice bead like we did on the floor pan, we're gonna use these dies, and they're gonna give us a little step, like a staircase. It's gonna be a stepper upper, or however you wanna look at it. Let's see if we can do this without messing it up. I can't wait until I can get one of these mounted to the floor. That'll save us a heck of a lot of headache. So, I mean, you get rolling this. This piece won't be bad because it's a little piece, but I got old manual tire changer that's the same way. You get rolling, man, and you just wish that thing was lagged right to the floor. I'm concentrating, that's why I got quiet. Just calm down, wow. Can a man concentrate a little bit? See what that did for us? Oh, it might be hard to see. Well, you can't see this side because we didn't do it. Either way, it's stepping it is what it's doing. It's stepping it. Believe it or not. Why? Why won't you just do what I want? Oh, okay, never mind. That would help. Forgot to loosen the top. I usually don't make my patches like this, but like I said, this is a spot nobody can see, and well, I wanted to try it. See if it's any easier. I'm not gonna lie, I actually thought about just making a panel that bolts on there. Alright, you should be able to see what we're trying to accomplish with this. See how it steps down? It don't look like a lot, but it's a little bit. And what that little bit's gonna let us do is we'll take it and now we'll be able to slide it over our piece. See the kick down? Watch. Now we'll slide it over it and it'll be about level and it'll give us a backer for when we're welding. It's just gonna make it easier to weld. Well, let's give her a little kick. This is only part of this mount. We gotta get this welded in. Well, I guess this is part of the cowl panel or whatever, the firewall, however you wanna look at it. But we gotta get this part welded in, and then once this is all welded in, we gotta build the mount for the door bracket. Yeah, that's not straight. It's either not straight or my lines aren't straight. It's probably not straight. Yeah, perfect, or close enough. 45. We'll check it, and then yeah, that looks pretty freaking fancy. How are you gonna get that inside there? Well, hopefully, I'm hoping I can go from the inside. Throw stuff now. Huh. All right. What? That's gonna work good. I just need to sort of like have a spotter on the outside, and this is where a helper would be. All right, we need a little bit more round in it. But that looks freaking phenomenal, yeah? That's gonna work great. That piece is gonna work freaking awesome. And it's kicked out behind the old hinge. Got my hand in there holding it, so I can't point real good, but look, right here, where's my finger? Show up. Where that black line is, you see the divot? That's what we were trying to achieve. That way when we when we weld that thin metal to this one, we got less of a chance of burning through. It's just, oh, it's gonna stay. Whew. It's just, it makes it a little bit easier. Plus, this is a spot that you don't see when the fender's back on, so. And that looks freaking awesome right there. We should just freaking drill a couple holes and put a couple bolts in and call it good. What about panel bond? They just glue it on? I've thought about doing that with JB Weld, but we'll weld it on. I already partially sanded it before when I was using, because this is a piece of metal from another piece of metal. Actually, I think it's from the bottom of the door that we made. But I'm just gonna scratch it up a little bit and we'll spray it a little bit, at least the spots I can't get to. Bye, kitty kitty. And then it's the old waiting game. It's always a waiting game, waiting for the paint to dry. Hey, I just want you all to know I did listen to you. I went and bought self-etching primer. This piece we're really not too worried about because it's galvanized metal. Don't weld galvy, it'll make you sick. I bought a respirator and it came in, so that's cool. But galvy don't rust as easy. It's more like, it takes a long time for it to rust. But either way, isn't that annoying? That's why I don't usually record me doing body work or sanding. It's just freaking annoying. Oh, another thing is you should really get all your Sharpie off before you paint because Sharpie will bleed through a paint job. Am I worried about it right here? No. Nobody sees it. Meow. Loki bomb. It's just me and the kitty's hanging out with me right now until I start welding and grinding. Then he's got to go outside. All right, I'm gonna get a coat of paint on this or 2 coats or something, and I'm gonna spray some on the back side because where it's pinched together, I won't be able to get back in there. So I'll spray up in here. We'll let that dry. We'll spray this, and might as well paint the back side while we're at it. And then we'll come back and we'll weld it all up. Maybe we'll find something else to do in the meantime. Well, while we're waiting for our piece to dry, that thing came out pretty freaking good. She's dry to the touch, but I'm gonna let it just dry a little bit more. That looks freaking awesome. And I sprayed out of the inside of that. But in the meantime here, we need to 2 3/4-ish. We need to build a mount here of some sort. And well, we got a scrap pile here. Ha! Winner, winner. I think we found our piece. Now we could bend something up probably, but this is, it's probably much thicker, much better. Ha! That's gonna work perfect. And then what we'll do, what are you looking at? What we'll do is we'll draw a line down here and we'll slice it. Why am I telling you? We'll just do it together. So I just measured the piece up real quick that we need, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our measurements here and we're gonna cut about a 9.5 inch piece. Boof, boof, boof. What? Yeah. Put a mark across like this. Turn her up. See how close we were? Perfect. And then what we're also gonna do, I don't know how much of a flange it used to have, I just know it used to have a flange. So I don't think it was freaking 3/4 of an inch, so I can't just slice it in half. I feel like it was about a 1/4 inch flange is what it had on each side, so that's what we're gonna do. Does that look even? Something like that? Yeah? Okay. Just use your eyeball. It ain't got to be perfect. That looks good, no? And while we're right here doing this, we're gonna need the same thing for the passenger side, so we might as well just cut 2 of these. Why? Because it's box tubing. And it's gonna be easier. We're just gonna save time in the future is what we're doing. Does this look the same as the other? Yeah. Perfect. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's freaking perfect. Stop overthinking stuff. Nobody sees this. You just don't want your dang thing to flex when you open the door. And we don't want that extra draft. That one looks small. Let's just add a little bit. You don't want that draft in the car. Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, you gotta guesstimate sometimes. All right, we'll get this all cut up. Safety first. So what we got to do is we need to take our freaking metal and we need to turn a 90 on the end of it. So with that being said, what I'm probably going to do is just cut the little flange off here to make our life easier. And the reason we need this 90 is, well, our mount is more rotted out than, I'll show you. So if I just bring it flat, this piece won't reach it because we're missing about a 1/4 inch in here. So what we're going to try to do is just nip it. It won't match up perfect, but it'll be fine. It'll be close enough is what I'm trying to tell you. Like we said, it's behind the door, and well, surprisingly, this door is all opened and closed. Phenomenal. I don't know how, but they did. Close your ears. All right, you can uncover your ears. And boom, we're just gonna try to bend this little flange on here. And if we can't get it to bend really nicely, we'll just score it right there with the cutoff wheel and it'll be fine. What am I looking for? Oh, yeah, baby. Where's my hammer? That'll work, yeah, I think. We'll see if we need it a little bit more, and if we do, we'll just come in and we'll nip it a little bit more. We can always weld that up. My little flange got a little small on the bottom, but that's fine. It's on the bottom. Nobody's going to see it. Don't worry about it. So check it out. I think this is going to work almost perfect. Whoop. Then we'll weld it there, and we'll weld it there, and we'll be able to weld it to our piece. But we got, well, one, we got to mark this real quick because we don't need it to overhang. But two, this is round. So I think we have to put this in the vise real quick and just get the top to bend it in a little bit. Hang on. Hold on, don't go nowhere. I was just getting a marker. It's almost the perfect size. All right, I'll just do a little mark on the back. And then what we'll do is we'll actually cut that. Oh, look it. We already got our old mark right there. Drop the marker. So we'll just go over there and we'll cut that up, and we'll cut this at an angle like this so it looks pretty. And we'll see if we can give her a little tweak. Well, we just gotta try to put a little bend in it now. It ain't gotta be crazy, we just need a little bit. You saw how we had to roll that piece of metal. Well, I feel like this almost has to do the same thing. How are we gonna do that? Just a little bit of brute force. And that's how a lot of stuff was made in the factory. Oh, what do you mean? Well, if it was made in a press, that's sort of brute force, ain't it? I think we need a lot. Look at it. It's round there-ish. All right, ready? Down we go. See how she looks now. Oh yeah, look at it. See the, and now when we put it on there, it's gonna match the flow there. Oh, that's way better. Can you see? Look at that. Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. All right, well, I guess I'll go paint the back side of this. Well, we're ready to fit this cool piece up in there. I drilled a couple holes because I'm assuming that this thing right here would have welded to this plate. I don't know. I'm just guessing. If I'm wrong, well, we're not hurting nothing but making it more sturdy. So let's see if we can slide that up in there. Now's where we scratch it all up after we painted it pretty. That looks freaking awesome. I don't even think we have to weld it in. We'll just drill a couple holes, bolt her in place, and she'll be removable. Oh, that came out great. What I'll do is I'll scrape the edge right here, and that way I get a good connection when I'm welding, and then we'll weld this all up. We'll grind it down just a little bit. It don't have to be perfect because, like I keep saying, you put the fender on it, nobody sees it. But we also got to get our new mount on. I also drilled the mount out. Stay there. Y'all impatient sometimes. That way we can spot weld it or plug weld it, I'm sorry. Plug weld it, this piece to that inner piece, and then I'll plug weld this piece to this piece, I think. Maybe I'll drill through this so we can go through both layers. I don't know, I'm just guessing. I'm just welding with a flux core welder, no gas, just as cheap as possible. It's fine, you go slow. I guess if you had gas, it welds nicer, or welds better, it welds easier. I don't know. I've never really used gas I've always used flux. That's what I've used. It is what it is, and I have no issue using it, and I don't have to buy gas all the time. So, that ain't too bad, huh? We got her all tacked up all the way around. I even got up in here in the corner. That way she's all welded up. Well, sorry, I gotta get a floodlight. I should probably order one of them. A couple floodlight flashlights instead of the spotlight. That thing probably don't help too much. Let's get our next mount on there. I welded up the little plug welds. I don't know why I keep wanting to call them spot welds. The plug welds, I welded them all the way through, so they'll be fine. I might have to just flapper wheel them real quick and a quick just to add some, where I burnt it off. And then we'll slide this bad mamma jamma up in there, and well, it's gonna be fabulous. It'll look like it did, well, I think it'll look like it did factory. I don't really know what it looked like factory because, well, you've all seen the other side, and I'm really just going off a picture I saw on the internet. So I'm assuming, see, I had a flange of some sort. No flange on the bottom, but it used to have a flange on the bottom, I'm assuming, and the ones on the pictures online look like it did. But either way, I'm just going off a picture I found on one of the sites that sell body panels. And well, if it's not right, oh well, it's better than it was, and at least my door's got some kind of support, right? Right. All right, hey, I got a question for you. Oh, look at, I like the new mask. I didn't smell nothing while I was welding. I should have got one of these a long time ago, and it fits under the helmet, so that's cool. Blinded by the light. What was I gonna ask you? Oh yeah, I have a question about my patches. You know, we've been keeping track on how many patches we've been doing on this car. Well, we did the bonus video, posted Sunday, so if you guys all missed that or anybody missed it, run back and check that one out. It was pretty cool. But I made these, and we made 3 of them, right? Because we were missing 3 of them. Do they consider a patch? That's not welded on, they're screwed on. But I mean, technically, we ran them through the freaking stepper die. I don't know. Is it a part? Is it considered a part? I made a part for it. I didn't make a patch for it. I want to count them as patches, right? Because I mean, they're patches, but they're not really patches because they unscrew, and I don't know. Just like this mount, right? Where's the mount? Is this considered a patch? This ain't exactly a patch. It's more of a mount, but we are patching it together. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Do I only put 1 down for this video, or does it get 2 plus the 3 that we made last week that we didn't mark down? You're right. I mean, I guess if you go online and you look up these cards, they're door cards or something like that. That's what it comes up, or access. That's what it's called, access panels. So it wouldn't be considered a patch. All right, we won't count them, I guess. Would you count them? Be honest. Put in the comments. I won't count them for now. We'll tally up what y'all say. If we got the majority say I count the 3 as 3 patches, then we'll mark it down on our patch calendar over here. Well, I guess it ain't calendar, it's just a chart, but we'll mark them down. If the majority of you say nope, Max, they're not patches, they're parts. You made parts, you made access panels, then I guess we won't mark them down. So we'll skip that for this week. And this, like I said, I know it's a mount, right? Like that would be considered a mount, but we're gonna weld it all in place. So I'm gonna count this as a patch. All right, enough of me gabbing and yapping and blah, blah, blah. And let's get this done. Well, good morning. It is a nice cold 28 degrees here in Florida. Yeah, that's extremely cold for Florida. But hopefully by noon it'll be 70-ish. Me and Loki Bomb don't feel good this morning, so he don't want to be outside. He just wants to come in and sleep. Well, yeah, I don't think we checked this out yesterday afternoon. She came out good is what I'm trying to tell you. Perfect? No. Is this car perfect? No. Am I perfect? Far from it. But it's solid. So that's freaking awesome, yeah? Look at that crooked thumb. I almost cut it off with a chainsaw when I was young and dumb. Well, I'm still dumb, just not as young. Either way, safety first. Don't play with chainsaws. What are we doing? Yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy with that mount. That came out fabulous. Let's work on this inner fender. So I think I'm gonna pull the inner fender off. I was fighting with myself, trying to decide if it was worth pulling off or not. And, well, how am I gonna dust the inside of this? And what I mean by that is it needs a fresh coat of paint. And then on top of that, I think it'll be easier to smash this dent out while it's off. We got a little bit of rust repair to fix. But I think that's more ripped through, rusted, because it's all dented up. So, with that being said, let's get this fender off. No, let's beat on it a little bit. Try to straighten it a little bit while it's connected to something. And then we'll take it off and beat it on the ground. So, here, I'll show you the other side so we can get an idea. This freaking inner fender is so rusty it's not worth fixing. But this spot's nice and straight. So I'm assuming that side's supposed to be as straight as this side. I don't know. Look at this mount. I was going to build this piece while we were building that one. That way it was ready for the next video or whenever we decide to get to that side. But that side's way more rotted out. And the top's all rotted out. So that one will be a couple more patches, a bigger patch, a completely different design. All right, enough talking. Let me get this inner fender off. I really don't know what's going to be our best bet. Oh, pull this thing back out. So, brute force it is. So when something don't work, what do? You beat on it. I'm not completely worried about this inner fender looking extremely good. I honestly didn't even know it was messed up until yesterday afternoon. It's already looking better. Ooh, shock attack. Woo! Ouch. All right, ears again. Heck yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna do that again, that hurt. You all know what I'm talking about when you put them clamps a little too tight. It's a shock attack. It's never fun scraping and sanding, wire wheeling and all that, but we got the air vents pretty much banged back into place how they should be, and we got the inner fender looking way better. I'll show you in a minute. We got a little bit of rust to fix on the inner fender, but overall not too bad, at least for this side. The other side's, I don't want to talk about the passenger side. It's bad, but we're not over there, so let's not worry about it, right? Start worrying about stuff that we're not working on today. Figured I'm gonna paint the inside of this before we put it back together with just some Rust-Oleum rattle bomb. But before I do all that, we might as well clean all this nasty stuff off that we don't need. And well, hold on, where are we? I don't know what shape this fender's supposed to be in, but this thing was tweaked all over. So I straightened this out the best I can. It looks tweaked, but I kept looking at the other side and, well, it sort of bends around all that weird stuff. So with that being said, I bent this back up. It's somewhat straight. It's way better than it was. All right, so she's still mangled, like she's all, you know, whoopity dipped, but she's out where she's supposed to be again, and we only got a little massaging left. But I gotta cut this section out. Well, I don't have to, but we're just gonna cut that out, and we'll make a quick little piece for there. And I think we should probably, we should probably make a piece for this front corner. Because, well, she's seen better days too. And then what we'll do is we'll just spray it all satin black, and this eventually, probably not this episode, but eventually this will all get undercoated with something. Who knows, whatever I find. Maybe we'll buy bed liner, maybe we'll just buy a couple rattle cans of undercoating. With that being said, I gotta finish cleaning this. This is nasty. Finish scraping some stuff. We'll start designing a piece for that. All the air vents, whoo, they're scraped and sanded the best we're gonna get them. So we'll spray them, that way they're protected and done, and we ain't gotta freaking do it later. That way when we reinstall it, it's one less thing to do. We got a little tab here, so I'll probably just cut this off real quick and we'll just tack weld something on there and call that a day. That's your update. Whoop. Bum. Feeling better, dude? Mar, you can't do that on camera, buddy. Oh, you good kitties. Yeah, we love our kitties. Loki Bum, he's a Maine Coon. And Mar, well, he's just our 12-year-old house cat. Sticker wall. You see the difference in size? And he's still a baby. He's like 2 years old now. All right, that's enough. Let's get back to work. So I decided this freaking, it's gone. So I just wanted to pull the whole thing off and we'll just make a new one real quick. Well, hold up. We should probably put where this thing was to begin with. Oof! Oh, there's a little divot in it, so we would have been fine. Trying not to, there we go. I don't want to destroy the ductwork. Alright, so we need to make a little, we need to make this. That's not bad. We'll be able to massage that out. And we'll cover that bag up and we'll weld her back up. At least that's the plan. Cover your ears. Alright, you're good. So, yeah, we just need a little L piece. See what we got in our scrap pile. Looks about perfect, no? Boof, boof, okay. Well, let's see what we got over here. Oh, it's too wide, too thin. Hey, look at that one. It's even got a freaking bead in it from something. I think I was just practicing to see which way the bead went. I don't remember. Let's cut this thing down. Is that straight? That don't look straight. Straight enough. It wasn't. I decided it wasn't straight enough. And where do we want to be? In here somewhere? Yep. That don't look straight. It is straight. Don't freaking worry about what it looks like. Boof, boof, boof. Something right here. Huh? Yeah. There we go. And then what we need to do, we need to kick it. Hold on. Sometimes you gotta think for a second. Alright. So perfect. It ain't got to be perfect, just perfect enough. Oh, we want to cut it off. Okay, hold on. I think, what am I doing? Yeah, and something like that here. You guys paying attention? Guys, girls. Just a freaking mount. It ain't gotta be perfect. Alright. Look, she's all sanded down too. That wasn't fun. Alright, what are we doing? Yeah. Now we'll weld that right on there. Well, yeah, I guess so. Just like that. Round, so. Oh, that'll be perfect. Where'd it go? Shh, stop it. No barking. And we got to bring her up a little bit. Something like that. Where's my helmet? Yep. Well, they're on. Just stay with me for a second. I'm getting everything ready. Freaking mess. It's today's mess. Well, this project's mess. Problem is you gotta go real easy because this freaking metal is so thin and old. But we got her. It's not pretty, but it'll work. I'll let it cool down, and this freaking old tin here is just, it's thin. But hey, we got another mount. I'll drill a hole right there, and that's gonna look way better. Well, you ain't even gonna notice once we're all done and we paint it. What do you think? Oh, hey, a little trick to make your stuff look more not so raggedy and ugly. I don't even think this one was like that, but round your corners. Look, and then it don't look so cobbled. But that looks about perfect to me. Hey, wait till you see what just came in. Like it just came in. My dogs were barking. Well, you probably heard the dogs bark in the last clip. Look at. Oh, Johnny, thanks again, man. This thing's freaking sweet. And it's sharp, like it's really sharp. We got new stickers. Yeah. The government is watching. Look at Rust Life. Yeah. And look at, you've all been asking for it. It'll be fine. Check them out. Super cool. That's super excited. Or I'm super excited. Head on over squaremaxmerch.com and get yourself some. Would you look at them? They look like brand used. Yeah, how many of you guessed they were gonna fall over? And yeah, yay! They blew over. Now I got all grass stuck to the fresh paint job. But look, our mount didn't break, so that's good, and nothing else broke. And well, camouflage, that's what I was going for. So I straightened this out the best I could because it went all over the place. And well, now I'm just gonna trace it out on here. It's gotta little kick down on the back. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that. We don't need a CAD design for this one. This one's, well, it's right here in front of us. We need another hole right there, but the rest of it will be fine. Hold on. Oof, there it is. Alright, let's get that cut out. And then I'll cut this piece off. We'll weld the new one on there. And I don't know what these extra holes are for. If we need them, we'll drill them in there afterwards. It's just like kindergarten, except you're cutting metal with metal cutters. Voila! Now, voila! That'll be way better than what was on it. Yeah, that looks almost perfect, huh? Yeah. Oh, perfect. We made it just past it. It bumps down right here, but I don't know if it bumps down because it's, well, because it was all bent up, or if it bumps down because I feel like it's a factory bump. So I'm trying to cut it right before it bumps down is what I'm trying to do to save a little bit of headache. That came out freaking fabulous, huh? Out with the old, in with the new. No? Yeah, you won't even be able to tell once we spray some undercoating on there. We got to do one more patch where it was all beat up and smashed. I mean, it's straighter than it was, so maybe we'll massage it a little bit more. Maybe not. We definitely got to cut that out though, because I can't even weld that back together. It's just too far gone. So that's the next. So this one I don't think I need, but I do need another hole right here that should be the same size as that one. But this hole's so big I don't exactly know where to drill it. So with that being said, I'm just gonna wait until this is all back together. This pinches up inside here, so once it's all back together, I'll put a mark on it, and if I can't drill it on the car, I'll pull it back out quick and we'll drill that hole. Now let's cut this out. So I beat on it some more with a hammer, and well, that's way better than it was, and that's the best we're gonna get it. Why? Because, well, it's a freaking inner fender and it's better than it was. This spot was all, well, look it, it's freaking rusted right out. So that's why we're replacing this little section here. So yeah, we're going to use our cardboard aided design. Before we get started, we have to design. This was a pretty crooked cut, I can already tell. But as long as we cut a pretty crooked piece, everything should fit very well. We should just freaking throw a piece over top of it and lap weld it right on. Nobody would ever know. Well, I mean, you and me would know, but you wouldn't tell nobody, right? And nobody would see it. But you know what? Inner fenders and stuff like that, that's a good place to practice. And, well, I could use the practice. We all could use a little practice. None of us are perfect. Well, maybe some of you are perfect. I don't believe so. But to each their own. To each their own. This is... Who cut this? I think what happened is I cut it and then I freaking smashed it more flat. Because I could have swore I cut a straight line. Probably not. Probably not. It'll be fine though. Yeah, hold up, hold up, hold up. Voila. That don't look right. Well, it's right. We should have cut our freaking a little bigger. Hold on. Yeah, perfect. Look at that. We just slap some fiberglass over it, let it dry. We'll sand it down and you'll never know. We'll just pretend like we put metal in there. Yeah, that'll work fine. Well, you all know what we got to do next, right? We got to find a scrap piece. Ha! Freaking perfect. Let's just bring it in a little bit. Yep. And look, we just trace it over to our piece of metal. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Voila, we have our piece. Well, we don't. We have our CAD design laid out on our piece. Now it's simple. Just cut, 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 cut. Whoop, fish hooks everywhere. They're gonna get in somebody's foot. Poor old snips. Uh-oh. I cut that one inside the black line. It's alright, we can fill a gap. Ugh. Just takes an extra second to fill the gap. Alright, that looks pretty freaking good, huh? Besides it now. Whoop! Cover your ears! And then we'll roll it. Maybe. I don't know if we'll be able to roll it. Well, give me 1 second. You stay there. I'm back. This might be way too much. What were we rolling last? Oh, we were rolling some thick stuff, huh? We were just doing it at the beginning of this episode. Oh, that's not going to be enough. I don't know if it'll roll this small piece. We could probably sandwich it between two scrap pieces and roll it that way. Well, we're getting a roll in it. Might have just enough roll in it. Hold on tight, going down. Whoop, like a roller coaster. Whoop, whoop. Okay, I'm sorry for anybody that just got mad about that little roller coaster ride. Yeah, we actually gave it just a little bit too much roll. Oh, nice. Oh, I can't do it. So I'll get a pair of pliers on here, and we'll just give her a little, I'll show you instead of telling you. It's gotta go easy, and you don't want to do it all in one spot. What's that? Is this the right way? You know what? If it gets the job done, anything can be the right way. Don't listen to the naysayers. Hold on. Nice. Got a little fine tuning, a little fine trimming, and we'll be able to get that bad girl right in there and weld it up. Well, this thing's got like a little bead here that ran along, and well, we flattened ours out because it was so mangled right there. So we're just gonna try to put one in it again. It's gonna be a little hard because well, we're doing it pretty much over top of a weld. But it don't have to be perfect. Anything's better than nothing. All right. These came out freaking awesome. They're gonna look way better up in there. And well, they're, you know, not gonna rust away. Well, they are gonna rust away eventually, but they're gonna last longer is what I'm trying to tell y'all. So I wiped the grass off after they fell on the ground and just put another fresh coat over top of the whole thing. They came out freaking nice. No? Yeah, I thought so. I'm gonna go find a spot to hide these for a bit, and we'll get the inner fender out here for a quick coat. It's amazing what an hour of wire wheeling and scraping and $8 can of spray paint will do. Is it perfect? No. Could we keep working on it? Definitely. Is it way better than it was? Yes. Will you see it? No. And this is just a base coat. Listen, I like this stuff. It's got freaking 5 different spray nozzles. It sprays a nice fat fan like this. I really like that stuff. Used it on my frame of my truck 3-4 years ago, and well, she still looks fabulous. So yep, I've been using it forever. I gotta wait for this to dry, which takes forever. That's the only downfall to this stuff, is it doesn't dry really fast. It takes a while, which is I think that's a good thing in my opinion. I think when that spray paint takes longer to dry, it freaking adheses better, or whatever the big word is that I'm not pronouncing right. So with that being said, no sense making you guys wait and watch me freaking put another coat of spray paint on. That's just freaking absolutely boring. Don't forget, we got new stickers. I gotta get some of the OG stickers. We interrupt your programming to show you all 5 stickers we offer. Square Max Customs, the OG sticker. The government is watching. Rust Life. It'll be fine. Don't worry, we got jack stands. And the collector magnets that we offer for free on any order over $20. We got a few more on order. We'll have them shortly. We appreciate all your support. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. So I don't have them out here, but we give away a magnet. We've done this since the beginning, but I think we got 5 different magnets now. But for any purchase over $20, you get a free collector's magnet. No, you can't buy them. They're free. Collectors. Purchases over $20. Also, for the rest of February, we lasered out some cool looking, well, you do whatever you want. There's a little hole in it, so if you want to add it to your keychain, you can. They're not the best. They're made out of scrap metal, but they were made by us, custom. So that's pretty cool. And for the rest of February, anybody that orders $20 or more worth of stuff off the website, we're gonna throw one of these in also. So we appreciate it all. SquareMaxMerch.com. Hopefully the new stickers will be on there by the time this video goes out. I really appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all commenting. I appreciate y'all coming and just joining with me every week. It really helps. The channel's growing. It hasn't really grown that much in the last couple months, but that's fine. We're steady. We don't want the unwanted subscribers. We just want the ones that want to subscribe. That is freaking awesome. It came out beautiful. I'll lay a little fiberglass on it. Why? Actually, it shouldn't matter because nobody will ever see it with the fender back on, but I'll do that once we start working up here. I didn't want to pull it out for something so little. The inner fender, you could, if you really wanted to, put some filler on it, but nobody's going to see it, and we're going to undercoat the heck out of all of it once we're done. That's awesome. I wrote down 4 patches. 1, 2. And then on the fender, the inner fender, we did 2 more patches. So that was 3, 4. You all let me know what you think about the door cards, the door access panels, if you think we should mark them down. I mean, we did make 3 of them. But, like I said, they screw on, they don't bolt on. So, you know, there could be some arguments there. We still got to fix these doors. They look good, but the other doors looked really good too until we started poking at them. Sticker wall. If anybody wants to send a sticker in, P.O. box is in the description. They're pretty cool to see your sticker up on the wall, whether you got a channel or you just want a cool sticker on the wall. As always, I appreciate y'all watching. We appreciate it all. Love y'all. Peace. I'll see you next week.